Good afternoon, everyone. This is Professor Hill. It's a short video for our class, Introduction to Ethics Philosophy 2306 here at St. Philip's College for the spring of 2025. Anyway, this is the end of our first week together. We've got access to the Canvas website. We've had some problems with access to the textbook. Lots of people have had no problems. They clicked right through and it worked. Other people have been getting error messages and being asked to enter codes and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm trying to sort out why some students are getting error messages and others aren't. At first, I thought it looked like it was just a matter of changing your browser. But then some people wrote me and said, no, I changed my browser. I tried 2 or 3 different ones. It's still not working. Anyway, I'm trying to make sure there's not some kind of problem on this end. If all fails and you're still having trouble, let me know, and I've got a workaround. I can help get you access to it a different way, but we're trying to sort it out to where you should have free access to the textbook through the Canvas website. You go to the module, it says access textbook here, you click through and you should be able to read it free online without a code. So for the people that are already reading the chapter, great, keep reading. For the other folks who are still having problems, hang in there, which is why I build it in this way to where the first week, our Sunday night assignment this week is just the introduction. It's to account for problems just like this. And the first assignment is not due until next Sunday, more than a week from now. It's Friday, by the way. Today's Friday, the 24th of January, the end of the first week. And so we will get everybody sorted out. But this is important because you have to read the chapter first, chapter 1, before you can write your essay. Because, as you can see when you read the assignment, it starts with, now that you've read chapter 1, and ends with, most importantly, you need to incorporate the lessons of the chapter into your contribution. So, yeah, you got to bring over some key concepts or terms, something that you think the first chapter addressed and is relevant to the case study involving Jenni Lake. So, sorry if you're stuck and haven't had access to the textbook yet. We'll figure that out and get you there. Also, some folks, if you jumped ahead and just responded to the case study, because again, it's kind of a heartbreaking, moving case study, but you just responded off the top of your head without reading the chapter first, you can indeed resubmit an essay. That's not a problem. I'm always happy to look at, the most recent thing you've submitted and count that as your essay. So you can do that. You're not able to actually edit it and expand it. You just have to resubmit. Anyway, so let's get to the case study. I mentioned yesterday that I wanted to say a few things today about how complicated it is. And it is. So the short version of this is that Jenni Lake is 17. She starts to feel bad, get headaches. They go to the doctor. It turns out she has cancer. But they say, look, otherwise you've been healthy up till now. You're young, you're strong. And if we attack this aggressively, we're going to do radiation treatment. We're going to do surgery. We're going to have chemotherapy. There's no guarantees with cancer, but they're like, hey, look, you got a fighting chance and we can develop a plan for you and jump in. And so they begin this. Well, it turns out that that they begin the process of treatment, and she finds out that she's pregnant. So now they stop everything and say, look, we got to have a conversation with the boyfriend, the family, the doctors. Get in here, because in your situation, it's a very stark situation, meaning that the chemotherapy that you need, the life-saving treatment that you're undergoing, would end the pregnancy. And so she says, well, listen, what happens if I stop my life-saving treatment? Is there a chance that I could live long enough to give birth to my child and take the baby full term? And they say, yes, but again, no guarantees will get you there. But also, after months of not treating this cancer, it's going to spread and it'll kill you. So it's a very stark choice. So she's considering stopping her treatment to allow the pregnancy to develop and hopefully develop. Because again, you got to remember, when they're making the decision, they have no idea what the future is. Or continue the treatment, it ends the pregnancy. And so she thinks about it, talks to her parents, and this is the big thing. She says, I've decided to stop my treatment and give the baby the best chance possible. And the mom, who she lives with her mom, parents are divorced. And the mom says, okay. Now look, from Jenni's point of view, she's making a decision and her mom is kind of agreeing with it. But that's really not what's happening here. She's 17. She's a minor. Her parents are responsible for her and all of her medical decisions. And so really what's happening is her mom, who's the decision maker, asked Jenni what she wants to do. Jenni says, I want to stop my chemotherapy. And then she says, okay, making the decision. And the doctors go, okay. They stop the treatment. Sure enough, she is able to live long enough to give birth to a healthy baby, Chad Michael. And sure enough, she then dies just days later. She just barely made it over the finish line. Now, there's a lot happening there. One of which is, you think it should have been her decision? It wasn't legally, medically. Her mother obviously gave great deference to what she was thinking and wanted to an agreement. But what would have happened if they had been in disagreement? If the mom had said, no, you're continuing your treatment. Think about that for a second. Which is interesting and difficult. And now think about this. Why did the doctors agree to it? The doctors have a patient, and it's Jenni Lake. They have an obligation to treat her and care for her. And being a minor, they could have challenged the mother's decision, and yet they chose not to. They went, okay, and withheld the treatment that they knew their patient needed to live, and then their patient died. That's not a small factor or wrinkle in this case. So I want you to think about these things. Who's the decision maker? The mom. So really, when the way the question's phrased in the assignment, it says, make a comment regarding your decision of your judgment of her decision. Was it right or wrong? The her in that case is really the mom. Do you agree with the mom's decision or not? But then also, do you agree with the doctor's decision to do nothing and let their patient die? I know we've got some nursing students and other students in the class who are, got medical backgrounds. They're thinking about careers in medicine. Here's the thing. If the mom had said, I'm making a decision for me, an adult, stop my chemotherapy, the doctors go, okay, because you're an adult and you're in charge of your medical decisions for yourself. but not with a child. With a child, they could have said, this parent is making decisions which is endangering the life of this child. It's our obligation to protect the child. We're going to seek a court order to protect this child. It turns out we do that all the time for parents that are endangering the lives of their children. Abusive parents, we say we as a society have an obligation to save children from parents which are harming their kids. It could not be more clear that in this case, the mother is making a decision which is going to result in the death of her minor child. Why didn't the doctor step in? Not a small factor. So look, think about that, wrestle with that, especially when you're looking at the terms, the definitions from the chapter, and you're thinking to yourself, what applies in this case? What are the philosophical concepts from chapter 1, which I think are relevant to this case study and to my decision? And by the way, it'll be interesting to see how the class divides on this. An interesting little bit of trivia about this case. When I teach this case in a live class, I tell the students, they don't see anything written up ahead of time. I introduce it talking in class, and I take them up to the point of the decision. She's sick, she's undergoing treatment, she's pregnant, she's got to make a choice. What do you think she should do? And then in that case, not knowing the ending, not knowing the outcome, almost all the students, typically 3/4 to 4/5 of all the students, say, you know what she should do? She should continue her treatment. She and her boyfriend could have other kids later, but she's got to take care of herself first. And she should continue her life-saving treatment. She needs it. It's a tragedy. It's terrible circumstances. It's not like she's choosing it, but given the circumstances, she needs to continue her treatment. When I teach the class online and students read it and they see instantly the outcome, they switch. And now 3/4 to 4/5 typically say she made the right call. She sacrificed herself for her child. It's a beautiful thing. This is what parents do. And they support the decision that the mom made. That's a lot. All right. So look, think about all that as you're looking at the case study, reading the chapter. If you don't have access to the chapter, let me know. And I will sort that out for you one way or the other, because we got to get this fixed. That's why we have the week. But next week, after we've done the introduction Sunday night, you're going to have the textbook in your hand so that you can read it, so you can then write your essays. So don't panic. Don't feel like you're behind. We built in the time for just this reason. All right. Take care. I will talk to y'all soon. I hope you have at least a little time over the weekend between now and Sunday night at midnight when you're turning in your introduction. That's an easy thing if you haven't already done it. All right. Take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you soon. Keep thinking about this. There's still some other twists we're going to introduce at the beginning of next week. So more to come. Like I said, it's complicated. All right. Bye.